majority of players in Group 2, are they going to see the majority of action this weekend?
No, still be split evenly, more for special teams. It'll be more of a mixed group for both. And then after that, we're looking to cut down and get down to almost our lineup, or as close to it as we can, probably for games 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so that'll happen likely that.
After this weekend, we're going to make a lot of decisions and go down to a much smaller group. Yeah, we'll go down to one group.
Just one more for me, and the injuries, Clark Bishop and no JBD out there.
Yeah, he's been struggling with a bit of an ankle issue, so I held him off for a couple days just to let it refresh. And Bish, took twisted his ankle and looks like he's going to be out for some significant time. It's not broken or anything, but you know how those ankles are sometimes, and it's unfortunate. I think he's a guy that, he can really fill a role for us, but that's going to open it up for someone else.
DJ, Connor Brown, an elite penalty killer. He played more than 8 minutes last night with the penalty kill. Is that something you're comfortable doing even in the regular season, or was it just a case of just the kind of lineup you had on the ice last night?
Well, I think no, that's more the lineup. Bish, we had 5 killers up front, essentially ready to kill, and Bish being hurt, so now we're down to 4, and then we took so many penalties. But no, we'd like to rotate kind of through 6 guys, but that's all right. I mean, he gets a lot of reps. Connor knows, he knows the systems in and out, but it's good to get reps for him.
How long do you think the new cross-checking implementation will take to get used to for players? Do you think it'll stick once the regular season starts?
Well, once you know exactly what it is you can and can't do. I mean, can you push on the guy? Right now it's if you extend on a guy, it's a cross check. So you got to be real smart. I mean, it's simple. Don't cross check. So you're allowed to push. You can't load up and heave on a guy. So if you keep taking those penalties night in, night out, we're not going to be able to play us. So you're going to have to learn the rules.
Are you seeing signs that the special teams, and specifically the power play, starting to get a little bit better with more familiarity, or is that still going to take?
It'll still take a lot of time. I mean, I thought today our penalty kill, I have no issues with at all. We had some major mistakes that ended up in the net, but for a whole, though, our stand and our talking and sharing of pucks, I like where our penalty kill is. Our power play's got a lot of work to do. We need to get more pucks to the net. I think sometimes you get caught up being real fancy. Just move the puck quick, get it to the net. At the end of the day, whatever system you're using, pucks have to get to the net.
I wonder for some the bigger defenseman DJs, they kind of make a living clearing out space in front of the net. Is there extra video that goes in with them just about educating them about this is what you could do, but you can't anymore? Anticipate some growing pains there?
Yeah, for sure. But what you have to do is get early position. It's going to come down to you have to establish position with your feet and with your body, and then make the guy go around you or through you. If you're late getting there, you're going to be in trouble. And then probably what's going to transition is guys that are regular box out guys. If the guy beats you in the net, you're going to have to front them, and that'll change some guys' games. But like everything else with the hooking and the holding and everything that years ago, you learn, and the guys that can learn the best are the guys that'll play the most. What's that? Murray will start next game, and we'll make the decision after that. So Murray will go tomorrow.
You expect him? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yesterday was one game. You have a different lineup tomorrow. Carryover. Do you have to say anything about carryover messages? You should know what they have to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing for me is some of the mistakes you make can't be made over and over. So you correct them and you move on. The outcome, you always want to win, but at the end of the day, no one's going to remember exhibition game 2 of the NHL schedule. But are we getting better and learning from that? So in a way, I'm glad we're making a lot of those mistakes, because a year ago, that's a regular season game and you lose. So you get to see who can play inside your system, and then who can adjust after having a meeting today, and then who's going to do it right the second time. So there's a lot of good things that come from that. But really, for the most part, you played a real hungry team of guys that are trying to get in the NHL, and we had some veterans that are just getting their reps in and trying to get their game ready. They're not worried about making the Ottawa Senators, and that's just the truth. There's, we have a lot of good players that played in last night's game. They're going to play, that are just getting themselves ready for the game, where there's a difference in sports, and it maybe just be this much. When you're that much hungrier, that's usually what happens. And I think you've seen in Winnipeg how hungry our young guys were, and I think this whole thing's about turning the light on, and by the end of 7 games, you got to have your fire in your belly when that puck drops in game 1. Yeah, they're going to play. Everyone will play tomorrow that hasn't played, biting an injury, so everyone will get in. And then, this was the plan. We kind of had a preset lineup with 7 games. That's why we went to 7, is so that we could get a lot of young guys, a lot of games, and then cut down after 4, and then games 5, 6, 7, kind of get your team ready. Yeah, in practice they do, but practice is practice. There's a lot of guys that looked unbelievable in practice and then get in their first game and don't play great. So, but there's going to be growing pains, and it is what it is. But both of them are real good skaters. Zub defends really well, thinks the game really well. So they're going to end up being a really good pair, in my opinion.